Update: am I the a-hole for uninviting my daughter to our Christmas gathering? Original post: bear with me, I'm on a mobile. I'm a mother of 4 children, 2 older sons and 2 younger daughters. All of them are adults and have moved out a long time ago. I've always been close with my daughter S, while P has always liked to have her own space, which I don't mind. They're both beautiful, talented young women that I thought I couldn't be more proud of. We're having early Christmas this year, first week of December. I was inviting everyone around for Christmas dinner, gift giving, and the lot. When I phoned P yesterday to clarify a few things, she mentioned that she and her husband would not be coming. When I asked, she said that they had separated now as he had cheated. I said that it was surely better to spend time with family if this was the case, and maybe she should come home for some time. She ummed and ahed, but then eventually she told me he had an affair with Stinkbug, and that they had been seeing each other for the past 2 years. I felt sick. For the past 6 months in our talks, S has alluded that she has been seeing someone and was typically girl in love. I uninvited S to the Christmas gathering and blocked her. I don't know if I'm able to deal with her before Christmas, but this is family time, and family can't hurt each other like that. I'm at a loss in all honesty. P is now coming, which is good because at this time she needs stability of people who love her IMO. The problem is that S naturally thinks I'm in the wrong. It's none of my business, and as her mother, I can't block her and remove her from the family. My sister thinks I shouldn't get involved in their personal lives, which I think is BS. My daughter needs us right now, but then she tells me I have 2 daughters to think about, which I think isn't true. S has forfeited that right, ATM. Thankfully, my husband is liaising with S ATM, but he is also solidarity with me. So are we in the wrong for uninviting a daughter for Christmas? Edit: my husband showed me that this has gotten a lot of responses. Too many for us to answer them all, but we will be reading them before bed. A small update: P's mother-in-law found out. While me and her have only spoken a few times, she did dote on P, and I know P got along well with her. I haven't spoken to her personally, but I know she phoned my daughter and was real supportive and crying. My sister said that if S isn't invited, then she isn't going to either, which is fine by me. She wasn't invited in the first place due to the pandemic. Otherwise, I've been working and doing some crochet, so it's been quiet. Now for the topic comments before reading the update. Not the a-hole. No, sleeping with your sister's husband is a really good reason to uninvite your daughter. This is a case where no one has so massively wronged the other that staying neutral or not taking sides is taking a side. I've seen a few of these that go the other way and want the betrayed sister to suck it up and put their hurt and feelings aside for the sake of the family. So good for you not pulling that bullshit. The names made it a bit hard to follow though. The affair has been going on for 2 years. 2 freaking years. And Stinkbug, who is appropriately named, couldn't just be upfront and tell her sister? Not the a-hole, OP. Glad you're sticking up for your kid, because the other one is a write-off. This is a case where one has so massively wronged the other that staying neutral or not taking sides is taking a side. This is such a good point and applies to so many posts on here. Not taking sides is perfectly fine when, say, a couple is fighting over wallpaper, or there was a stupid fight where everyone behaved badly and there's just no winning, but S broke up P's marriage. To not acknowledge that is to say that S's feelings and place in the family is more important than P's. S screwed up royally, and she needs to realize that these are the natural consequences of her actions. Now for the update. Update. Hello all, my Christmas gathering was yesterday, and my son and husband wondered if I would post an update for you all. It's been rather uneventful, but I've been equally surrounded by the warmth and love while also feeling the heartbroken and lonely. So first of all, since my post, my husband has been teaching me to use Reddit. I've really enjoyed being in some craft communities. My daughter Penny has been staying with us. She works from home. My husband and eldest went to get some more of her stuff from her old house. Penny's mother-in-law Jane was there, was very helpful and sweet. She also brought some mint hot chocolate for our Penny and Christmas candles. I know they're her favorite. From what Penny has told me, Jane is having similar feelings to me. A lot of guilt over our children's decision to hurt people we love. I think at this point, we have to accept what we did our best raising them, but they're adults now, so we can't beat ourselves up. Penny and Jane are going to stay in touch. I think Jane truly does think of Penny as her daughter and a friend. On to some more negative things. I wrote my letter to Sally during this time. I expressed that I was extremely disappointed and also disgusted. While I will continue to have a relationship with her, she won't be welcome to any family gatherings with Penny present unless Penny has met a point in her life where she feels comfortable. I told her what some of you had said, that not taking a side would be a side, and that she had, for all intents and purposes, already uninvited herself when she was so cruel to her sister. Sally had apparently come up on Friday and knocked on the door. I was out shopping at the time. My husband spoke to her. Apparently Sally and Michael, my son-in-law, are going to continue their relationship. I will not support it in any way or form. She may be my daughter, but that man is not welcome. I am supporting Penny through the divorce, and if Sally ever expects money for the wedding or a house, then she's a very naive girl. My husband sent her away, after which Sally said we'd have to get over it someday. Otherwise, the Christmas gathering was lovely. It was strange not getting drunk and playing board games due to COVID. It's still a pleasant time. My hip hurts from cooking, but husband and Penny did the cleaning up, so who's the real winner? I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Thank you very much for your kind words when I last spoke to you. Story 2. My boyfriend of 5 years told me he does not want to have kids. Help, plus update. Original post. Hello everybody, I am female 27, have been together with my boyfriend male 27 for 5 years. We moved in together quite early in our relationship and everything was great until November of last year when we decided to get a cat. I've been wanting to have a cat for a long time, and in 2021, I asked him if we could get one. He told me he was not really a cat or a pet person in general, and he didn't think it was a good idea since we both work full time. It made sense at the time, so I accepted and never mentioned it again, until August of 2022, when he suggested we should get one, as he knew it would make me really happy. I was over the moon, and we got our kitty in October of 2022. In December of 2022, we got a second kitty. Cats are very social animals, and they are way happier if they are not alone. My husband was not very sure about it, but I convinced him. I love them so much. Yes, they're a big responsibility, and yes, they do make a lot of work, but I don't care. They're 100% worth it. I am the one who takes care of them. My boyfriend does not need to do anything. He had to feed them a couple of times since I was away for work, but that's it. A couple of months ago, we had a big fight. We had been having some trust issues. I caught him lying a couple of times, hence my trust issues. And the situation has really been tense between us. During this fight, he told me he did not feel comfortable anymore at home because of the cats. He told me that they make him nervous when they run and play. They're kitties. It bothers him that we now have a cat tree and that there are cat toys laying around the house. You get it. During this fight, he also told me he wanted us to give the cats away. I stopped him and told him that I'm not the kind of person who gets pets to give them away later. My family and I have always had pets, and our last dog was with us for 17 years until she passed away. I love pets and I see them as part of the family. Once they are there, they do not go anywhere. Since the day that I got them, they became my responsibility, and I could never do that to them. I would never forgive myself. I told him we would find a solution and make it work. Again, I am the one who takes care of them. I clean the cat toilet twice a day and always vacuum and dust everything once I get home from work. I keep the house clean. But cats are cats. You cannot control them like a dog. Don't get me wrong, they are not bad behaved cats. They are really cuddly and they follow me everywhere, but they are cats. The situation between us is still tense because of the trust issues, but I thought that we were on good terms regarding the cats. A month ago, we had another fight that had nothing to do with them, but he told me that he could not live with them anymore and they have to leave. He says he can't relax when he gets home from work because they are there. I reminded him that I would not give the cats away. I also reminded him he was the one who suggested getting one, and I do not think he is being fair. He also knew how it was to live with cats. His parents had 3 when he lived with them. He told me he knew it was his idea and he regretted suggesting it. I thought it could not get any worse, but then it did. He said, if I'm being honest, I do not think I even want to have kids. I froze and asked if he was being serious. For me, it was clear that we were on the same page about kids. My fault, I guess. We had never had a serious conversation about it, but when we spoke about our future, I always mentioned kids, and he never said he did not want any. He said it was not a 100% no to kids, but he could not imagine his life with kids right now. We are still young and are focusing on our careers, but that I am 100% sure that I want to have kids in the future. I've always known I wanted to become a mom. I told him I did not want to pressure him, but that I would really appreciate it if he could be honest with me and to himself. Since this is kind of a deal breaker, I also told him I did not expect an answer very soon since it is a life-changing decision. But in 1 or 2 years, I would like to know for sure. We left it at that. Today we had another conversation/fight. As I mentioned, the situation is tense between us, but we have been trying to make it work. Today he told me once again that the cats had to leave. I said that they are not going anywhere. He said he couldn't believe that they were more important to me than him. I told him that it has nothing to do with it, that they are not toys that you can just take or give away as you please. We went back and forth for a while. Then the topic of children came up again. This time he told me he was pretty sure he does not want to have any. Not now, not in the future. I didn't know what to say. He asked me if I was 100% sure that I do want kids. I said yes. I asked him what he expected me to do now. Give the cats away and then not have any pets ever again and not have any kids either? He said yes. He asked if he is not enough to make me happy. I told him that he does make me really happy, but I have to be honest with him and with myself, and I know I would not be happy without kids. There was a lot of silence. He is gone with a friend now. I'm home thinking about everything we said. This is a deal breaker, right? I'm starting to doubt myself. What if we go our separate ways and I never meet anybody I want to have kids with? I do not know what to do and I'm really scared. Is this the end? 3 months ago I was sure that we would get married and have a family together. Last year I was waiting for a proposal. I also live in a foreign country. I already lived here before we met. I didn't come here because of him, but it makes 1,000 times worse being away from my family and friends. I'm really sorry if my English is not perfect. It is my third language. I'm also really sorry because of how long this post is. I just needed to get it all out. Thank you so much if you found the time to read it and give me your advice. Now for the top of comments before reading the update. Break up. You two don't want the same life at all. It's setting both of you up for a miserable future of resentment. And even if this guy tells you he wants kids, what happens when the first or second baby won't stop crying and vomits, same as the cats? It's a gross problem, that's all your fault. Right? He agreed to her raising the cats after she already gave up, and now it's all her fault, like he was the one who took the initiative. Giving away a pet is indicative of a core personality difference already. More than that, you should absolutely not stay with someone who doesn't want kids. Kids are not an area to compromise. I was okay with having kids or not having kids. It wasn't a deal breaker for me. My husband and I have 2 kids whom I love more than life itself. But I would have been okay if I had ended up with a partner who didn't want kids. This is not who you are. My husband wasn't like this either. Kids are always going to be part of his future. This is who you are, and you should never give this up. Now for the updates. First update. I still can't believe I'm writing this right now. Many of you have asked what was the reason for the trust issues. I don't know if you read the comments, but I caught him lying about drinks with a coworker, and we already had fights about. He knew what my position was about this girl. This happened in December of last year, 2 days after my birthday. Yay. I forgave him and told him that if he wanted me to trust him, he needed to be 100% honest with me. I also asked him to keep their relationship 100% professional. I mean, I know they work together and will still have to be in contact with each other. 2 months later, I saw he had received a pretty long message on his phone. Out of curiosity, I asked who it was. He He said it didn't matter. I'm sorry, what? I asked him to throw it to me and he didn't want to. I mean, if you don't have anything to hide, what is the problem? Yes, he was texting with her. He told me everything had to do with work. He also told me that they had just kind of had the same humor and just got each other. I guess there's nothing wrong with that, right? I told him once again that I didn't have a good feeling about this girl. I told him clearly what my boundaries were. He told me he understood, and he didn't want to lose me, and he loved me. I believed him once again, my mistake. So now we come to yesterday. After our conversation, he told me he needed some fresh air and went out. He didn't come back for several hours. I thought he went to a birthday party with a friend. I thought this was kind of weird after such a conversation. Anyway, around 2 p.m., I get a text message from a mutual friend asking me if she had another friend who could come over. I thought this was kind of weird. We always did things together in a group with our partners and other friends, but never alone. I told her they could come. Once they arrived, I saw immediately there was something really wrong. I could tell they were really nervous, and one of them was about to burst into tears. She told me she was really sorry, but she needed to tell me something. Turns out she was out with his boyfriend and some friends when she saw that my BW drinking a beer on a terrace. He was sitting at a table with a girl. She thought it was me and went to say hi. Once she got closer, she could tell it was not me. It was his coworker. They were holding hands. She knew about my issues with this girl, and I told her what had happened. She went up to them and said hello in a sarcastic way. He says their faces went white, but he quickly changed and asked if they wanted to join them, as if there was nothing wrong with the fact that they were together. She said no and left, and then she texted me. I just could not believe what I was hearing. I had been so sad the whole day, but now I was just feeling angry and disappointed. I didn't know what to do. I could not stay at home just waiting for him to come back. I also didn't think he thought his friend would come directly to tell me what she saw. The girls stayed with me, and I told them what happened earlier in the day and how I could not believe that the first thing that he did after that was going to her. I knew that I needed to see them with my own eyes and make sure that he knew that I saw them. I knew approximately where this girl lived, so I asked them if they would come with me on a drive just to check it out. We arrived, and I kid you not, after 2 minutes of us being there, we see them coming around the corner, driving an electric scooter together. He was driving and she was hugging him from behind. They didn't see us. Once they parked, they started walking to a building where she lived. I saw him hugging her from behind and giving her a kiss on the cheek. I also saw him putting his arm around her shoulders while they were walking. Everything is on video since my friend started recording when they arrived. I ran up to them and told him what a complete asshole he is. His face once he saw me was again completely white. He asked me what was going on. What do you fucking mean what is going on? I told him I didn't want to see him ever again and left. We were on the car about ready to leave as he came around the corner to talk to me. He told me once again he did not understand what was going on. I asked him what he was doing with her holding hands and kissing her on the cheek. All in all, his explanation was that he went to her looking for some advice regarding the kids topic. He said he did not want to lose me and was trying to figure out what to do. He told me she was his only female friend he could trust. I told him that still did not explain why they would be holding hands or why he would kiss her on the cheek. He said that was his way of thanking her. Are you kidding me? I am still in shock and can't believe that really happened. I am so happy my friends were there too and made a video because, of course, he was already trying to deny what I saw. He came home, we argued about it, and he kept saying he just wanted to get some advice from a female friend. He said he was sorry about the kiss, but he denied putting his arm around her. Told him I have it on fucking video. He also kept saying he never kissed her on the mouth or had sex with her, so he hadn't done anything wrong nor crossed any boundary. I told him that there are many other things that were also crossing a boundary, and I reminded him how I clearly told him before where my boundaries were. I really cannot believe he thinks he has not done anything wrong. He also said he cannot believe I was thinking about leaving because of some cats and some kids that we don't even have. I'm completely heartbroken. I never thought he was this way. If I have been so long with him is because I really thought he was a good guy. He was always supportive, kind, attentive. He made me feel loved. And now everything has turned into a nightmare. Final update. Hello everybody, I know it's been a really long time since I've given you an update, but there has been a lot going on in the last couple of months. The last thing that I told you is when I saw him with his work colleague on the street. Well, after that, he continued to deny for weeks that there was something going on between them, and that he only wanted some advice from another woman. I started to doubt myself and almost believed him, but I had this feeling inside that was telling me that there was much more to the story, and my gut feeling was right. To summarize, I found some receipts from a zoo and train tickets going to another city. The train tickets were from May, and when I checked the date, I realized it was a holiday. I remembered I had the day off, but he told me he had to work. He left for work and left me alone for the whole day. He came back really late that day. There was no explanation as to why he would have gone to that city without telling me. The zoo ticket was from only a few days before, so already after I had seen him with her on the street. I confronted him with the receipts. I could tell he was caught off guard by his reaction, and he admitted he had gone to that city and to the zoo with her. So I asked him to stop being a coward and to tell me the truth once and for all, that I deserved a little honesty after all. He admitted to secretly seeing her a couple of times since December. He says 4 to 5 times. I think it was a lot more. He also admitted to kissing her, but only 4 times, which of course I don't believe it was only 4 times. His excuse was that he had been having so much stress at work, and at home things weren't going great either, so he just needed to disconnect and do something else without thinking about problems. I told him that was not an excuse for cheating on me. Also, in his opinion, what he did is not cheating. I felt heartbroken, but also relieved because for once I felt a little bit of truth. I also felt relieved to know that I was not crazy and that my intuition was right the whole time about this girl. Since then, he has apologized and he told me he loves me and that what he did was the greatest mistake of his life and he will forever regret it. I told him a mistake happens once, but 4 or 5 times is a conscious decision. He has asked me to give him another chance and that he will show me I can trust him and to think about how happy we were together before everything happened. I told him I had been very happy with him, but that everything is ruined now. That is a really summarized update, but I think you get the idea of what is going on in the last couple of months. I don't really want to go into much detail since it all still hurts me a lot. On a positive note, I have now finally found an apartment for me and my cats. It is unbelievably difficult to find one in my city. We will be moving out soon, and I'm excited for what the future brings. I also have my first therapy sessions, which I'm really excited about. I have had a lot of contradictory feelings and emotions that I need to work through. I thank you all for your time reading my posts and for all the nice words and pieces of advice. You all made me feel less alone in a really difficult time. And for me, I know I need time to heal, but it will only get better from now on. That's all for today. If you're enjoying this story, please like the video and share your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you.